Hey, this is Russ. I got a bike to show you guys. Take a look at this one. All right, you guys know this bike, right? Yeah, it's the Magicycle Cruiser. I call it the Cruiser Wannabe Pro because it wants to be the Pro. It's very close to the Pro, but not quite. So why am I showing this bike today? Well, Magicycle reached out to me and said, hey Russ, you know, we've been working together for quite a number of years now. Yeah, I think it's been almost like 3 years, right? And this is the very first e-bike that was given to me for review. And yeah, so I wanted to show you what it looked like and also tell you some of the promos they got going on with it. And I put some notes together just so I wouldn't miss any of the good stuff that they wanted to say. Now I modified this bike, obviously. Like the saddle is not the original saddle. This is the Giddy Up saddle up there. And I also have the Sun Tour seat post, which I got from Magicycle. Okay, you can get one too. I added on the optional mirrors, which you can get from Magicycle. Right. I also have a cell phone mount there, have a different bell on there. I have the optional front basket on here. I've got my bottle cage on the front basket. I always do that all the time, as you know. And here's how else I modified it. I have the 52 volt 20 amp hour battery, which comes on the Magicycle Cruiser Pro. I also have hydraulic brakes. I'm trying to remember all the things I put on here. So they gave me the Tektro hydraulic brakes, and I installed that on the bike myself. So the only thing it doesn't have to make it a Pro, I don't have the suspension, front fork suspension that comes with the Pro. It's a little different one on here. And then what else don't I have? Oh, the motor. Yeah, this is the standard motor. The Pro comes with a more powerful motor on there. Okay. And oh, I also modified one more thing too. I actually put a 52T chainring on this particular bike. It's the only bike I did that to. Oh, one more thing I did. I put a guard on the bottom which protects the controller. What did they call those things? Scratch plate, I think. Is that what it's called? I don't know. It's called something else. I know. I can't recall what it is, but I put it on the bottom there. So let me tell you some of the promos that they have on this bike, and then we'll take it out for a ride. Now the Cruiser is normally $16.99, and if you look at their website, they have it for $12.99. That's a good deal. Yeah, it's actually a good time to buy e-bikes right now if you're looking for an e-bike. All right, because of the Russ is Right channel, it's not available to all channels, but it is to us. $1,099. Save you another 200 bucks. And if you want the Pro version, okay, $21.99 is the normal price. $15.99 on their website. You can get it through the Russ is Right channel for $13.99. $13.99 with all that stuff on there. All right, so how do you get that? Okay, well, first off, you got to go to the description of my video. Take a look at that. You have to click on the affiliate link. All right, don't go directly to the Magicycle site. You have to click on my affiliate link, okay? Once you click on the link and it brings you to the Magicycle site, then you place your order and you put in the codes that I have in the description of the video. Now, I'm not going to verbally tell you this because I want you to see it in the description of the video, okay? There's two different codes, one for the Pro and one for the Cruiser, okay? Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're going to go ahead and get this, okay, whether you get the basic Cruiser for $10.99, which is still pretty good, or you get the Pro at $13.99, which has the bigger battery, has the better motor, okay, has the better suspension front fork, all right, has the hydraulic brakes, okay. It's actually a pretty good deal for $300 more than the regular Cruiser. Take that extra money that you saved, pick up something like the Sun Tour seat post. Yeah, they sell that on the Magicycle site too. I think you're gonna like that because that'll give you that feel of that rear suspension feel. So, I mean, there's things you can do. You can add baskets, do all sorts of stuff, right? Oh, speaking of baskets, they did want to say too, if you buy one bike, they'll also throw in a phone mount, okay? And if you buy 2 bikes, they'll throw in a free basket for you. I think they only give you 1 though. So, well, but hey, better than nothing, right? All right, so here's a few things I wanted to tell you about the bike, and then we'll take it for a ride. You know, it could be your first 52-volt e-bike. You know, if you have a 48-volt bike, now you can go to a 52. The affordable pricing, the powerful performance, long battery range. You know, 20 amp hour battery on the Pro gives you a lot of range. 15 amp hour is pretty good too. But, you know, it's a classic design. It's the mid-step model that they have. They claim a range of about 80 miles of range on a single charge, and that's debatable. I've said that for almost every brand. That's the ideal if you're a certain weight, riding at a certain speed, using pedal assist level 1 on flat land, okay? But many of us have, you know, different type of terrain. You might not get exactly 80 miles. So, you know, you get hydraulic brakes on it, and you get a 2-year warranty from Magicycle. So with all those things said, it's kind of a great deal at this point. So let me encourage you, if you're looking for a good bike, you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, this is your time to get it, okay? I still keep this bike. People have always asked me, why don't you sell that off? You've had it for a while. Yeah, I like it. I'm not going to sell off something I like. Plus, it's the very first review bike. Why would I sell that off? So I still have it. You should get one too. Okay, let's take it out for a ride. Talk to you in a bit. All right, let's go out for a ride. Yeah, this is always a fun bike to ride, I tell you. You know, the addition of a better saddle and the suspension seat posts makes a huge difference in the feel, I'll tell you that. Where should we go? Let's go this way. I don't think we usually go this way. I'll cut through here. There we go. And let's cut through this way. Yeah, I think this is the only bike that I actually have 2 mirrors on it. I usually only put a left-handed mirror. You know, when you buy the mirrors from Magicycle, they give you the left and the right. I usually only use the left one because there's usually not a lot of room on the right-hand side. But if you notice, let me angle down a little bit here. I've moved the derailleur shifter way in so I could do this. Let's move it back up here for you if I forget to do that. Yeah, so I moved it way inside, and morning. And so I was able to put this in here. Now, you know, people always ask, do you have to move your shoulders a little to see? Yeah, you do. I mean, if you put mirrors that are on the bar end of the handlebars, then you don't have to do that, right? But it makes it stick out so much further. It's hard to get through the doors because, as you know, I store my bikes inside, and I got to get through my doorway, and so I just find it easier to put it on the handlebars. But again, that means everything's crammed in there, even the cell phone mounts and stuff. You know, at least on this bike, I put an extension bar here, and again, another accessory option, so that I can mount the cell phone on that bar because it's getting cramped. Everything's in there is kind of cramped, right? I also put the blue bell on here. It's usually black, but the very first company I bought these bells from, they had multiple colors. So I said, well, Magicycle has some blue in there, you know, on their strap that they put on the rear rack. So I said, yeah, I'll put it on the Magicycle. It's the only bike with the blue bell on it. It's the same bell, just different color. All right, let's head out of here. Yeah, it's a smooth ride, that's for sure. It's a very smooth ride. You got the front fork, you got the rear suspension on the seat post. Yeah, hard to beat. And that Giddy Up saddle, I tell you. Magicycle has a similar one. I don't know, I've never tried it, so I can't tell you how it is. But this company called Giddy Up sent me the saddle. I says, man, it's a weird looking saddle. It's so wide, and it's got like these little wings on it. I call them wings. But I tell you, those wings really make it feel comfy. It's not really supported. It just kind of sits out there. All right, we'll turn here. I think I do have to raise the saddle up though. I think I have it a little too low. I remember I lowered it down for storage for the winter. You know, I leave this particular bike out on the out in the garage over the winter, but of course I take the batteries out too. That's all stored inside. And I've taken this bike out, I think I took it out in February, I think, or maybe it was January or something, when we actually had some decent weather, some unseasonably decent weather. And so, yeah, so I put a cover over it. I got that from Magicycle too. Man, I get everything from Magicycle. Thanks, Magicycle, appreciate it. And so I stored it out there, you know, that the covers kept it from getting all the dust and the dirt and everything that happens out in the garage. And so I lowered the saddle to make it a little bit easier, you know, to put the covers and everything on. I even turned the mirrors inward so it doesn't hang up on it. But yeah, I forgot to raise the saddle this morning. So let me find a good place to stop and I'll raise it up, show you how I do it. Now the saddle, the seat post, I should say, the seat post has a shim that comes with it to fit the size of this particular bike. Okay. And looking at these guys, they're spraying the vegetation here. You can smell it. It's like insecticide or something. All right, I think this would be a good spot. I just want to get out of the way of anybody that might be coming. So this is a mid step, but here's how I get off the bike. I tend to lean the bike over, lean it down a little bit, and then I can hop off a little bit. So let me angle a little bit here. So I'm gonna pull this open and raise it up, maybe about this much. Doesn't seem like much, right? But man, it does make a difference. Now the problem is every height that you raise it to makes it tougher and tougher to get on and off the bike when you lean in the light. But you have to remember too that the suspension seat post, let me give myself some pedal assist here. The suspension seat post will compress a little bit once you sit on it. So it actually has to be a little higher than you kind of think it's going to need to be, because it's going to compress down once you sit on it a little bit, right? So yeah, now I feel better. Okay, now I noticed you didn't notice any of that because it was all angled down still. How do you like that? You know, that's actually what happened once before. I was making a video and I shot the entire video with the thing angled down like that. Yeah, you know, you tend to forget. So, all right, I moved it up. It's a little chilly today. I've got everything on. I've got my sweatshirt on. I've got a black jacket on. But I did wear my safety vest. Now, I've been saying that the safety vest doesn't usually fit too well with all the stuff on, right? So I hadn't been wearing it for a while on some of the earlier videos this month. Hey, it fits fine. You know what that tells you? Yeah, you lost some weight. Yep. The loss of weight has made the safety vest fit over all the stuff that I'm wearing. How do you like that? I didn't test it out until now, and I go, hey, it fits. Didn't fit before, but you know, 30 pounds or so of loss, I guess it makes clothes fit better. I gotta pass this guy up here. They're cutting the grass. So we're hearing a lawnmower in the background. Yeah, I'm still sniffling. Yeah, it's kind of chilly. It's gonna warm up a little later, but I wanted to take the bike out this morning. What time is it right now? It's 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock in the morning. Still a little chilly. You know, the warmest weather is always come around 2 or 3 o'clock, but I tend to try to avoid too late in the afternoon because then rush hour traffic starts coming in, people are getting off of work. I don't want to run into that. If I get in early enough, let's say 10 or 11 o'clock, then I'm kind of avoiding most of the people. It makes it a little bit easier for riding for me, I think. Let me tell you about the hydraulic brakes on this bike. You know, before I got the hydraulic brakes, it had the Tektro mechanical disc brakes. They were okay. You know, that's what comes on the cruiser. But I always wondered, what would a hydraulic brake do? I mean, how would that feel? You know, because I didn't have one up to that point. So Magicycle said, well, we'll send you one. Yeah, they sent it to me. They said, well, you'll have to install it. I said, okay, no problem. I could do that. So, so I installed the hydraulic brakes, and I go, wow, there's no turning back after that. Because really, you can definitely feel the stopping power of the hydraulic brake, and it's such a light, easy pull. The mechanical disc brakes, you got to pull a little bit on the handlebars in order, on the handbrakes in order to get the thing to stop. Not on the hydraulic brakes, you don't. It's pretty easy, nice and smooth. So that's when I said, yeah, it's going to be hard to accept any bike that has a mechanical brake, because you get spoiled, right? Not that you can't do it, you know, but you can. I still have one bike that has the hydraulic, that has the mechanical brake on it, and I have the scooter that has the mechanical brake on it. But I can definitely feel it's a little harder to pull that. I mean, they stop fine, but you know, you really gotta make an effort to pull it. Now, the one thing that I do too, to pretty much all of my bikes, is you notice this has a twist throttle, but I put this little accessory thing here. Let me see if I can angle to show you. Can you guys see that? This little thing is a 3D printed thumb throttle accessory for your twist throttle. Yeah. So my library has 3D printing services. They don't charge you to do the printing. They just charge you for the materials that you use. So for X amount of usage of the plastic to make it, they just charge you for that. It comes out to about 50 cents or so, give or take, 50, 55 cents to make one of these things. And I put it on pretty much all of the twist throttles on the bikes that I have twist throttles for. I'm just used to it. Some people like the twist, some people like the thumb. I like the thumb. I don't usually use the thumb. I tend to just like rest my whole palm. Let me see if I can angle. See, I don't use the thumb a lot. I rest my whole hand on it a lot of times. So my whole palm and everything, well, not the palm, but the meaty part of my thumb kind of rests on it. And it's less tiring than holding it down with just your thumb. Now, not every bike can do that, but this one you can. Here's a little tip too that I found out, and it's not just for Magicycle, it's for almost any other bike. When they do these grips on the right-hand side, because you got a right-hand thumb throttle there, you want to move it away from the thumb, from the twist throttle a little bit. So I put a little gap between there, okay? And the reason is because you don't want that grip kind of nudged up against it, because it'll make it harder to twist, and it could actually even mess you up too. It may hold it down longer than you want to. You may want to let go and it's still going because it's got pushed up against it. So I leave a little gap all the time between that. It's a little tip. I don't think any of the manufacturers tell you that, but you know, from using bikes for a while, I learned, yeah, it's not a bad habit to get into. So I just move it out a little bit, you know. Yeah, it looks funny. There's a little bit of gap there, but it's safer. Got to go for safety, right? Let's take a right-hand turn here. So yeah, today is just a easy day of riding. Nowhere special, riding around, going around neighborhoods, seeing what's out. You know, the nice part is as the season starts up, everyone's grass looks really good. I'm not kidding. Everybody's lawn looks really nice. It's nice and green, you know. And then as the season goes on, things start burning out, and people don't upkeep their stuff as much then, and it becomes a problem, right? All right, person wants me to go, so I'm gonna go. Yeah, sometimes, you know, even if they get there before you do, they'll stop and they'll wait until you cross. Nobody wants to hit the bike rider, because that would look bad. Not too good for the bike rider either. So they'll usually wave you on. I always can't talk today. I always wave thank you. Just let them know that I acknowledge that I'm gonna go. Plus, it's nice to say thank you, right? Now you might notice I throttle a lot. I had gotten into the habit of throttling quite a bit because I had a replaced knee done. Everyone knows that, but if you're new, you might not know it. And so I bought my first e-bike to try to help rehab my knee. It took 2 years to get over my knee to the point where I could actually ride a bike. It took me 2 years almost basically just to be able to walk again. I had one of the worst knee replacements. But now, after riding the bike for years now and walking and doing other things, yeah, you can't really tell that I had a knee problem. You might be able to tell I have more of a hip problem now. Yeah, hips hurt more than the knee. So I was scheduled to do a second knee replacement for the other knee. And so the doctor asked me, are you going to do the other knee, which would be my right knee? I told him, no way, man. After all the hassles of this knee, I'm not doing another knee. Good thing I didn't do it, because I don't think I needed it. He said the same thing too. He says, I don't think you really need it, but if you want to do it, we can do it. Because the knee was hurting when the other knee was hurting. And it turns out, I think, the knee was hurting because you're compensating for that bad knee. And so you're walking kind of funny, right? So I'm glad I didn't do it. That right knee is perfectly fine. Yeah. I was talking to my friend Jim, not Donut Jim, another Jim, Fishing Jim. I have 2 friends named Jim. One's Donut Jim, one's Fishing Jim. Donut Jim is Donut Jim because he used to be the donut vendor at the farmer's market. And then Fishing Jim is my friend from church. We go fishing together. So we're going to try to do some fishing again this year. So anyway, what was I talking about? See, loss of memory already, I tell you. It's going to come back to me. It always does. All right. Now you might notice I didn't really do the stop there, but he saw me and I put my hand out, so I might as well just move because they're going to sit there until I move anyway. So if I stopped, it would just slow us all down. Oh, okay, Fishing Jim. So we were going to go fishing again this year, and he asked me. He says, "Are you going to do the second knee?" And I said, "No, it's my hips that hurt more than the knees at this point." So he says, "Are you going to do the hips?" I go, "No." I said, "I had enough pain done already on me with that one knee. I don't want to do it again." So the thing is with me, if I'm just walking short distances and the like, you probably never know I had any issue. But if I walked, let's say even a city block, I would be suffering. You would see me suffering like no tomorrow. I'd be like, oh, I can't make it. So he says, well, if you fix the hips up, maybe then you could walk. I go, no, I don't want to go through the pain. But he said that, they say that the knee is a worse recovery than the hip. I says, yeah, I know, but I still don't want to go through the pain. Had enough pain in my life already. So I usually will take a mobility scooter with me. Like if I go on a cruise or something like that, I'll take the mobility scooter with me. I'll just mobility scooter around. If I go fishing with Fishing Jim, I take the mobility scooter. Yeah, it's just a fact of life for me at this point. People look at me with the bike and says, "Oh, you're doing pretty fine riding around." Oh, you're sitting. You're not really standing or putting pressure on your hips when you're riding your bike. So people don't realize I actually have issues. It's okay. I'm okay. All right. Should we take the bike path? Let's take the bike path. I always hesitate taking the bike path now because sometimes people make comments. It's like, oh, that bike's not allowed on here or whatever. Hey, nothing says you can't take the bike on the bike path. No motorized vehicles. Nothing says that here either. No, I think the only thing that they ask you to do is stay within their speed limit. And as long as you stay within their speed limit, you're perfectly fine to be on this path. But with multiple experiences on the path where people said things, it's kind of put a downer on the path for me. Plus the fact that I gotta keep a certain speed, and as you know, I like to ride fast. I can't do it on the path. I could do it on the street though. Morning. So I tend to ride the streets more. Now, I made a mention too, when the cicadas start coming out, I will probably avoid any of the forest preserves and paths and the like, because they're going to have a lot of cicadas out. I'll just ride the streets at that point. But the path here is kind of a shortcut to bring us back to where we started out at. So it's okay. Sometimes I just want to see what's out there, what's happening and the like. I'll tell you this, before I got an e-bike, I never walked around paths like this. First off, I can't walk. I just told you that. So really, the e-bike has opened me up to a lot of different opportunities to go places and to do things that I never had done for years and years and years. And this is why I'm such a big fan of biking in general. Whether it's an e-bike or a standard non-e-bike, just biking in general. I always liked biking. I remember as a kid, and I mentioned this before, I was always jealous of the neighborhood kids that had better bikes than I had. I had a bike that was kind of one of those banana seat bikes. You guys remember that? Yeah, it was a Toughie, or a Huffy. There we go, a Huffy. Get the name right. It was a Huffy, and it was bought at the police auction, Chicago police auction. They don't have that anymore, I understand. Yeah, so all the stolen goods that are not claimed, the police department tends to just auction those off. And so my dad bought a bike for me, and he bought a bike for my brother. My brother had I think it was a 3-speed XWing, I guess kind of a road bike. And then I got one of these banana seat bikes. Yeah, I put one of those sissy bars on it. You know what I'm talking about? It's a big long towel bar, sissy bar. Now this comes to mind because Donut Jim recently told me that he had sold his old XWing Stingray, which is a banana seat bike. Looked really good too. He showed me a picture of it. It looked really good. Sold it to a bike shop, and he made quite a bit of money on it. Yeah, those bikes are kind of desired bikes now, for nostalgia and the like. But yeah, good for him. He got a good deal out of it. He kind of moved out something that he's never going to use because he's got an e-bike too. So he's got a couple e-bikes, So yeah, we get to a certain age, we got to start moving things away because you can't use things forever. I got more stuff to get rid of than I know what to do with, so I got to start doing that too. But I can't seem to get rid of all my e-bikes. No, it's hard for me. I told you that before. It's hard for me to get rid of any of my e-bikes. I always feel like at a loss when I give a bike to somebody else. I feel like, oh, there goes one of my bikes, Yeah, they're sold, but still, I feel bad that I don't have it anymore. Thank you. The lady put the dog back on the leash when she saw me coming. That was nice of her. Dog seemed pretty well behaved, anyways, though. Alrighty, that's really all I have for you guys today. I'm just kind of riding around. I wanted to bring this to your attention with the promos that Magicycle was offering. And like I said, it's not offered to everybody. It is offered to our channel and to my viewers. So you're not going to see that code except if you take a look at the description of my video, you'll see the code there. You got to use the affiliate link first. Remember to do that, okay? Don't just go to Magicycle site and put the code in. Click on my affiliate link to get to the Magicycle site, and then put in the code, and then everyone benefits from that, okay? Alrighty, I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys next time.